We're happy to have you back as we near the start of the 2025 Neighborhood Football League season. Today we have two good preseason matchups between Normandy Knights and Belmar Bullets and the Trails Trees and the Old South Terriers. There will be some new changes to the league this year, with the most glaring being the new team, the Belmar Bullets. Starting at quarterback, they're going to have Jackson McLean, at wide receiver and DB, Jamarcus Davis and Braxton Bird, and their lineman, Caleb Graves. And Normandy doesn't start their quest to defend their title very strongly, as Beckett rolls out left, fires, and it's intercepted by Jackson McLean on the very first play of the game. And Belmar, looking to capitalize off that interception, does just that, as Jackson finds some space for a big run to get on the board 7-0 early. That lead wouldn't last too long, though, as Normandy has a good drive all the way down the field and caps it off with a rushing touchdown from Beckett. Now, a major storyline going into this game is Belmar's new center, Caleb Graves. As many of you may know, he was a center last year for that championship Normandy squad, so it'll be interesting to see how both teams handle that. Normandy's new center, Wetzel, does have some experience, though, as he did make a couple appearances back in the YouTube Shorts days. True freshman quarterback Jackson is going to get his second touchdown of the game as he flips it to Caleb for Caleb's first touchdown on his revenge game. You see right here, Normandy tie it back up as quarterback Beck Tiffany makes an acrobatic throw to show why he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. And to start the second half, Belmar is going to kick off to Normandy. And just watch this play by Will Beatonbow. No blocks to help him. Ball goes all the way back to the end zone. He makes a man miss. He has a lane. Just jukes out Caleb. And he's going to go all the way to score as Normandy takes a 21-14 lead. And Normandy's getting fired up after that touchdown. But Belmar isn't out of it yet, as they have a very well put together drive all the way down the field. Caleb caps it off with his second touchdown of the day.
You didn't cross.
Now, it wouldn't be all sunshine and rainbows for Caleb. It's just a couple plays later, Normandy's driving down the field before a brawl breaks out. Caleb picks up Jackson Worthy. Jackson Worthy doesn't take that 1-2 combo in the face. Caleb just walks away. Normandy up by a touchdown very early in the fourth quarter with a lot of game to go. And Beckett, trying to make something happen, is going to make his second very costly mistake of the game. He's going to roll out, looking at Will, trying to find the back of the end zone, but not enough under it. Jackson makes a very athletic play, solid return. Now Belmar has a chance to tie it up. And who else but Caleb with his third touchdown of the day against his former team on the revenge tour. But Beckett says we're not done yet, drives down the field and punches it in, leaping through his blocks to score a Normandy touchdown. After this, both teams would go on to punt the ball, taking us to overtime, where on the first play, Jackson finds Luke in the end zone to take a 7-point lead. Normandy still has a chance, but that's been huge for Belmar. Normandy has to have it here as Belmar forces them to a fourth down on their own 1-yard line. Beckett can scramble around a little bit, has a lane, but he decides to throw to Evan. It's broken up by Jackson as Belmar sets the tone to start the season and show that they are here. The second of the two games today is going to be Trails versus Old South. Get a little rivalry game to start the preseason, and you have to know it's going to get chippy. Let's take a quick look back to the last time these two had a preseason game before last season. Looking back now, things start to get chippy as they always do between these two. Before Preston takes it to the next level, hitting EBC with a right hook. Boom! Right on him. That was iconic. Now, when nothing of that magnitude happens today, things still do get a little heated and chippy as we see Preston find Big Go for the first touchdown of the game. And right there, showing what they're made of, getting a little mad. Luke Munding lines up for a long kick here. It's notoriously hard to kick on these since they're so skinny. And Luke's going to prove no different here as he shanks this one wide right. Preston's going to find his way into the end zone for the second time today. He's going to make a man miss and then high step his way into the end zone. And cover your eyes, kids, because that's not pretty. And it always seems to happen when these two play, as Trails goes on to jump Luke right there. This QB Old South's got just one of those guys that changes the game when he's on the field. He shows that right here, rolling out, flipping his hips, and throwing touchdown pass to Evan. That's why he thinks he deserves to be in the MVP race. So let's take a look at that. Remember, these are just the preseason rankings, so they're subject to a lot of change and are based purely off how last season ended. But we can see Taking the spot at number 1 right now is head top demon Rivers White, followed by Luke Munding, and then Normandy QB Beckett Tiffany. Old South needing to do something here to stay in the game. And that's exactly what they do, as Luke finds big guy wide open for the touchdown. But it doesn't take long for Trails to respond. It's just one play later, they find Shaq wide open for the deep bomb. Old South says not so fast though, as immediately they respond with a bomb of their own. Wide open, Evan Wade, touchdown. Yes, he is still on the north side. He will just be subbing today. Luke Munding showing off the wheels here as they battle all the way back and tied this football game up 28-28 as we head late into the second half. Preston showing that he also has the ability to run here as he just walks his way into the end zone for a Trails touchdown and take back the lead. As we watch Luke get beat up here, talk about a developing story in Rivers White. He's not playing today because he broke his wrist the other day. It is questionable if he'll be able to return for week 1 versus Normandy. Old South is very hopeful. Luke Munding says that he thinks Rivers will be there. Rivers has some serious doubt. He has a brace on his hand right now. He's got the cast off just the other day. Old South says he's not practicing yet, but should be expected to return soon. Luke's going to be able to find Maverick in the back of the end zone for another touchdown here to close that gap. And Old South is playing with a chip on their shoulder this year, falling just one game short in a close national championship last year. We're going to see what they got this year. And in this game, it just felt whenever Old South started getting any momentum, Trails would just drive down and score a touchdown, just kill it. Luke's going to find a wide open Evan here for the touchdown. And even though it's just filling in for Southside today, Evan is a problem. And don't be surprised if you find himself in the MVP race late in the season. Defense, not quite as good as he gets head topped by Preston there. But Old South responds with a touchdown of their own, finding Maverick Beeson on a deep bomb. Watch this celebration as he comes and signs the camera. This is what we'd like to see. Highlight plays, highlight celebrations. As this preseason game is coming to a close, Trail's already up 2 scores. But they're just going to find Preston wide open, one-hand snag to put it away. And that's going to be a Trails victory in the preseason over Old South. And that's going to close out those preseason games. So let's take a quick look at those final scores, and we'll move on to look at the preseason rankings. Just taking a quick look at these, you can see Normandy does take an upset to Belmar. It's just a preseason game, so nothing too crazy, but still a little surprising, and we'll see how Belmar develops and how they look in the coming weeks. And you also see Trails handling business against Old South, 63-42. A little surprising, nothing too crazy. We expected the Trails win, but not that big. Now let's close today out by taking a look at the final preseason rankings we'll have on screen in just a sec. Here are your official Week 0 power rankings. At number 1, we're going to have Northside. Even though they didn't play this week, they're just very consistent and keep control of the ball. They're a great football team. That's why they're number 1. Number 2 is Normandy. Even though they could have lost, number 3, Belmar, out of respect to their championship. And we know their potential. They stay at number 2. Belmar, number 3. We don't know a whole lot about them, so it's hard to put them high. Trails, number 4, after dominating Old South. But just knowing how they finished last year, it's hard to put them higher. Old South rounding us out number 5. We'll see how their season goes.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you soon as we have a championship rematch to start the season between Normandy and Old South at Munding Stadium. It should be hype. We hope to see you there.